WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
Yo, what's good, EDP lover?
Lost Media is a
name EDP lover telling me I fell off. What?
Surprisingly not formally gotten into. A lot of disturbing TV broadcasts, audio and VHS footage that have been lost to time is fascinating, and the links that people go to find them is incredible. So much dark and disturbing content has existed even before the internet, and the aim of this series is to dive into them, their search, and their stories, because, as it turns out, some of the darkest lost media out there seems to have always existed among us.
Among Us? Among Us? Yo, thank you for the 14 viewer host, Chris. I'm on some Among Dong. Yo, what's good, Joshy? Chris, thank you for the host, bro. I appreciate you. But I'm never listening to nobody in
It is a production of the Christian Television Network.
I hate the most is the
Sesame Street, bro. It always creeped me out.
Come and join us for a half hour of fun and games at Joy Junction. Now here's Sheriff
but
Don.
Sesame Street was just too far. Barney too.
1980.
I ain't gonna let that spread eagle behind me. On God,
Broadcasting
I'm
on
choking
a
him out
Christian
on live
television
stream.
network named Joy Junction. It's textbook public access TV, set at the eponymous village and hosted by the town sheriff. Throughout the show's lifespan, the town residents would join in for educational bits about the Bible, and kids were encouraged to take part in various games. It seemed to have been pretty successful during its time, as it was on the air for a few years. Bizarrely, nearly every record and archive of this show ever existing have been wiped though, merely leaving us with a handful of surviving re-uploads on YouTube. This has, admittedly, made it difficult to find any further information about Joy Junction aside from what we can distill from the existing footage. But that's okay, because that's not the main reason we're here anyway.
Shall we?
Hi, everybody. What's happening?
Hey, Ron, good to see you.
Oh, and I've been waiting on you. Oh, I'm sorry I got tied up, Marty, but traffic was heavy and the stores were busy. You know how it is when the day...
One of the show's cast members was a ventriloquist by the name of Ron, and he was present in nearly every episode, joined by his doll Marty.
Well, they're going to come back. Well, I did come back, didn't I? Yeah. I told you I would come back, didn't I? Yeah.
Typically,
Never mind.
they'd
I
have
ain't
a
gonna
quick
say nothing yet.
conversation about whatever the topic of the day was, and it, at least in
I don't get. I call that number, bro. I don't care.
the surviving archives, appeared to serve as a bridge between two segments of the show. Ron's full name was Ronald Brown, and in the years following the show's eventual end, he'd launch his own puppeteering company out of Florida called Puppets Plus. On his website at puppetsplus.com, we can observe a myriad of their clients, along with the age groups that he was primarily hired for. Ages 2 to 5 and 6 to 11. Now, at first glance, this seems par for the course in his profession. Children's entertainment was his forte. However, it's when we back up and take a look at Ronald as a person when things begin to sour. You see, throughout the years, Ronald had a strange dynamic with children.
Thank you for the sub.
For instance, in 1998, he was pulled over for a traffic violation and was found to be in possession of boys' underwear. His excuse was that he used them for his puppets, and he was eventually let off.
Yo.
Other complaints came throughout the 2000s about him giving rides to kids in his church van. Unfortunately, police could never do much because there wasn't any explicit crime being committed. It was incredibly strange, but unfortunately not enough to warrant any sort of arrest. Where things really get nutty though is when we jump to the early 2010s, in which Brown would find himself caught in a web of controversy.
Kids, I bet, watch. Weird autumn ventriloquists wanting to have a kid on their lap. Make chat bigger, got you. Little ass chat. Oh my God. W fucking PC. I'm about to get a PC like this and stream off this bitch, bro, and just play ping pong, the fucking pinball shit all day. When I get old as fuck. Hello, how are you? Good, you doing well. And see, sadly, he is doing well. I wish I had him in the closet. What the fuck?
In May
in the closet.
2012, a man named Michael Arnett was arrested after a sting operation. He was charged with the production of, and upon searching his home and computer, they would find chat logs on Yahoo Messenger.
Chat, are we going on the dark web during a sneaky link, or should we save that for a stream?
Between he and a person going by the name U.E. Lime. As it turned out, Arnett would produce these images and distribute them to various others online from the username CK3666, Sweet Talker Linda, and Calfkeeper 2. You'll notice that U.E. Lime was outward about their desires. They expressed interest in cannibalism, torture, sexual assault, and all of it was directed towards children, even as young as 2.
God.
The catch here, though, is that U.E. Lime wasn't just a random person. It was Ronald Brown, his secret online alias in which he'd express his fantasy about the kids he surrounded himself with daily. Let me remind you that this was a man whose entire life was centered around associating with kids. Someone who was, at one point, on television in front of thousands. To say that these chat logs were a bad look would be putting it lightly. And yes, the messages you're seeing are straight out of the official case file.
What the fuck? Sorry, Jeffrey. Sorry, I keep cursing your mom watching with you. Hey, Mom.
After corresponding with Yahoo.com, authorities were able to track down Ronald Brown and tie his username to a profile on a necrophilia website named cutedeadguys.net. Ronald's profile has been lost to time. However, through his own case report, we're able to find details describing
show
it.
me this, bro?
On
I don't
this
even want to see
site,
this site, bro.
his bio read,
Yo,
I love them. I enjoy them fresh, but like to see them displayed in their casket too. And a few snippets from his post history. I like the blonde boy, would love to snuff him. Very hot pics. That boy, that one. I'd love. It's safe to say that at this point, there was more than enough to warrant an arrest. And on July 19th of 2012, that notion would finally become a reality.
57 from
Marshals
Florida.
arrested a Largo man for possessing and conspiring to kidnap a child. They say he was a puppeteer who performed for children in the Bay Area. News Channel 8's Yolanda Fernandez has been following this story for us. She's joining us live tonight from Pinellas County.
Well, Keith, 57-year-old Ron Brown is here in the Pinellas County Jail tonight. Federal investigators say it was his gruesome and very graphic.
Yo, Sinjin, man. Hey, what's good, Kyle? You? Hey, slap some more, man.
Brown's house was raided, and scattered across his home were images of pictures of kids being tied up, and even some that appeared to be dead. Furthermore, agents found CDs with much of the same material, a blow-up sex doll dressed in boys' clothes, a journal he kept about his fantasies dating back to 1978, and even books about serial killers and cannibalism. He was eventually found guilty of possession of and was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison with a lifetime of supervision thereafter. Had he lived out his full sentence, he would be out sometime in 2033. However, as of August of 2020, it's reported that he is now deceased.
Damn. Fuck out of here.
My heart goes out to the children who had to suffer for the pleasure of this monster and all of those who associated with him. For his entire life, he was calculated and knew what he was doing. On this
shit first?
His career, his church van favors, his company parties, all a front for some of the darkest desires imaginable. In hindsight, I understand why Joy Junction's records were wiped. It was a show with a good premise and good intentions. I won't deny that. However, now bears a reputation forever stained by the devil. Hidden within them.
Weird shit. Flexico, thank you for the sub. 2 months, bro. Kid was literally acting like they was doing coke. What the fuck was that? Let's go inch for inch. Hard Rock, you really don't want to do that. On God. I swear to God you don't.
Before we continue, just a couple quick
Hard Rock, you don't want to go inch for inch. Don't ever ask me to do that ever again.
Announcements. First off, I'd like to formally announce my second channel, called Nexpo After Hours. Here, I aim to bring you guys analytical videos about smaller web series and horror video games. Currently, I have an upload about a smaller creepy web series, and I'll be dropping the next one in about 5 minutes from now. So if you're into that sort of thing, I welcome you with open arms. It's a big creative outlet for me, and we're gonna have some fun. If you're not, however, no sweat. We still got the big projects on main.
Still got the big
projects on main. New merch is now available at crowdmade.com/collection/Nexpo. We've got some super cool new designs if you're interested.
Dude.
Link.
Tape 2. Legacy of Tragedy. Azo, thank you for the 2 months.
The year is 1928, and a romantic disaster film about Noah's Ark hits theaters. Directed by a man named Michael Curtis, it premieres during a transitional period between silent movies and talkies, or films with actual spoken dialogue. Because of this, it's mostly regarded as a hybrid film with long scenes being played over music, and with it comes a healthy dose of extensive criticism. Most of the backlash is due to its runtime, clocking in at a whopping 2 hours and 15 minutes long, with considerable portions containing awkward dialogue and drawn-out scenes. Sitting through this movie is, to put it lightly, a considerable undertaking. Because of this, the film is pulled for revision, and the cut content is never shown again.
Shit was ass.
A good portion of the cut footage came from what the movie is mostly known for today.
They came
and that's
through
the flood scene.
But that shit was ass. Should have kept that shit in the vault. What the fuck?
In it, we can observe a slew of actors fighting their way out of a crumbling temple and towards the Ark to stay alive. It's a grandiose set with a lot going on, and keeping in mind the time period, all of this was pulled off with practical effects. These people were, legitimately, submerged.
Oh shit, hold on. What the fuck? So did these niggas really die? Or am I tripping?
Some might consider the acting here to be pretty well done. Like I said, this scene is grand, and due to the time period, was all pulled off practically. The thing is, some of these actors weren't actually acting, as during this scene, 3 actors drowned and 1 reportedly lost their leg.
Damn.
This was the result of over 600,000 gallons of water being dumped across the set, something that the
Holy
film's
shit.
extras were reportedly unaware of. It's been reported that, before filming commenced, Michael Curtiz was warned against putting so many people in danger. However, he shrugged it off, claiming that the extras were expected to be prepared for anything, and that, quote, they're just gonna have to take their chances.
That's crazy.
In the original cut of the movie, it's rumored that you could see these deaths happen on screen with a much more fleshed out flood scene. However, since the revisions, that original version is forever considered lost. It's rumored that Curtiz was in pursuit of relentless perfection. He wanted his movie to be grand and authentic. However, in this chase came a loss of life that did not need to happen, leaving Noah's Ark forever stained with an enduring legacy of tragedy.
Well, damn. I'm about to audition for the next Django.
Searching for a website, a window to the world, got to get online.
Take a spin, now you're in with the techno set. You're going surfing on the internet.
That's how I'm gonna start my acting career, chat. I will remove my tonsil.
On the 2nd of July 2014, an ad was made
what the
on
fuck?
Craigslist.
What? I need $50 by
It came from an 18-year-old girl named Brooke Slocum and was but a simple request for cash.
Yo, since I've opened my DMs on Twitter, it's been nothing but niggas in my DMs asking for money, bro. Like, is that all it is in this world now, bro? Like, real shit? Like, I understand and all, but damn, bro. It's not even like, they don't even ask you how your day is. It's niggas just asking for money, bro. Like, holy fuck. Yes, bitch, you're rich, bud. And there's also more jobs than there's ever been.
I need $50 by 3:30 p.m. today.
No, they don't even be following me. It just be random black broke niggas.
Later tonight, but I need gas and some mess quick. Everyone has bronchitis at my house, and I do not want to get sick. I'm 8 months pregnant, and my lungs are all squished as is.
Oh,
if
niggas
you could
too,
help,
chat.
me
Like
and my daughter will
dads.
greatly appreciate it.
This post remained untouched for 10 days.
Lying. They probably be lying. You never know who lying to on the internet. That Grand Rapids shit crazy. That's why. Facebook uncles. Fucking scammers of hell.
At 10:08 p.m. on the night of July 12th, Slocum receives
I'm
an
a sack
email
chaser
from a
for
man
sure.
going by the name Mike's Hard.
I can write host.
I can host. What are you thinking? I'm 25. This was a reply to other, separate ads that Brooke made around the same time period, in which she would solicit sex for money. According to her friends, it wasn't willingly, as her then boyfriend, 25-year-old Charles Oppenir, would coerce her to do this while accompanying her during these meetups. Reluctant, Slocum responds 20 minutes later.
Well, we're looking for donations if possible. Kinda in a tight spot, and we have a baby on the way. As far as the fund goes, though, there won't be any mail.
Mr. Blackish, thank you for the sub.
How does 120 bucks sound? I can drive you over here if you need.
No, we can travel, just can't host is all. When and where would you like to meet up?
I like to f*** outside in a park around 11:30. That okay?
Yo.
I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble for indecent exposure or anything. I can't go to jail being 8 months pregnant.
Yo!
It's cop free. It's a park, but behind it there are lots of woods. No cops at all. This last email arrived at 10:59 p.m. And as we can see, Mike's Hard was keen on meeting that same night. Needless to say, Slocum ended up accepting, and their trip to Gazon Park in Wyoming, Michigan
Iverson, thank you for the month, bro. Damn, I drunk a Mike's Hard lemonade before too. 12/7/2014. December. What the fuck?
It's midnight. The couple arrives, with Mike pulling up shortly after.
Bro, thank you for the sub, bro. I appreciate
Initially
you, Milo.
believing
Thank you for
this
the
to be
sub as
another
well.
sex meetup, the two approach Mike without much concern. Sometime during the next few minutes, Brooke is grabbed, bound, and shoved into the trunk of Mike's car. In haste, Charles tries to help, however is unsuccessful, resulting in a violent altercation between the two. It's unclear how long this fight lasted. However, what is certain is that during this, Charles was violently killed.
Wow.
Mike
Nigga
drags
got out
his
the car
body
and
near the
left.
woods,
First thing,
saws his
bro.
head off, and covers the remains with sticks. And without so much of a single witness, he jumps in his car and, alongside Charles' head and Brooke Slocum stowed behind him, drives off into the night.
He cut his head off and he took it.
After realizing that
Bro, going to
Oppenhier's
the park
car
and seeing
had
that
not
shit, bro, I'm
moved
not
in
gonna lie.
days,
I might
police
damn near
began
drive
probing
away,
on his
bro.
whereabouts. When asked, his parents drummed up nothing, his work nothing. No one knew where he was, but his car was there. And so they began
might-
searching the park
I
on
actually
July
will.
17th, 5 days after the incident
Oh
with
no,
Mike's car.
bro.
Upon scouring the wooded area that lined its back end,
I'm driving
they then
away, bro.
discover a
I don't know,
headless
bro.
body
I
under
don't
some
know. That
brush,
shit would just fuck with me.
and it was later identified
Fuck.
as Charles Oppenhier.
Nigga sawed his whole head off, bro. I'm calling the police. I'm driving off.
In the coming hours, it was realized that Oppenhier wasn't single, and his girlfriend, too, was missing. In haste, authorities obtained a search warrant for her apartment and began searching her laptop. On it, there were a myriad of conversations. However, one thread from Mike's heart stood out among the rest. The Internet Crimes Against Children Unit was called in for analysis on the real name behind the alias, and they found that this address was tied to another email, which was tied to a Facebook for a man not named Mike.
Bro, my real name
But Brady.
isn't Burkey Singh.
Brady
Hassan J.
Ostrike.
Can you shut the fuck up? You're actually weird. You're actually weird.
They stake out near his home while they await a search warrant. There wasn't enough evidence for an arrest warrant by this point, so that was a frustrating roadblock. The hours ticked by without much happening. However, around 9 p.m. on the night of July 17th, Brady would be spotted jumping into his car and leaving his home. A few moments later, he stopped by a nearby officer. Before they could get to him, though, he takes off, leading to a grueling pursuit.
Taking off that little ass combo, man. Go catch that shit, man. Man, go catch that shit. Oh my god. Don't let this nigga be in a track car, man, or SRT at this time. Holy.
Eventually, he loses control
He
and
would
crashes
burn
into a
they
cement
ass.
barrier.
Damn.
As the officers pull up for apprehension, however, he on the head
Damn.
and falls forth to his death.
Coward. Suck ass nigga. That's all we never hear about this shit, because everybody just end up.
Police approach and search his vehicle. In it was 31-year-old Brady
Yes.
Ostrike front seat.
man,
And
you
in the
get
trunk,
quick,
stuffed within a suitcase, was 18-year-old Brooke Slocum and her unborn daughter, both of whom were deceased. Upon searching Ostrike's home shortly after, they discovered a plethora of ropes, knives, swords, cages, straps, and bizarre writings that make little to no sense at all.
Bro.
His toilet was inoperable, and the entire place was nothing short of rancid.
Nah, bro. Nah. No, bro. No.
Most interesting of all, however, was the discovery of cameras. As it turned out, he had them all over his home so he could document his actions. And what you're seeing here is Ostrike as he prepares the basement he kept Slocum in for those agonizing 5 days.
Bro.
Now, there exists footage of Brady Oestreich's grueling torture of Brooke Slocum. However,
You know how many
you'll
niggas I
never
done
see
seen
it.
that look like him?
The police department has gone on record to say that they will never release it, however describe it as something straight out of a nightmare. During the time Slocum was captive, and
Glow
even when
Beekman,
police were
thank you
right
for the
outside
2
the
months.
home, she was locked in
They
handcuffs
all in
with a
Texas.
chain around her neck. Reportedly, Oestreich had bound her arms to the ropes hanging from the ceiling and left her dangling while he and tortured her
Fuck, bro.
before she to death. All of this was captured on film. Years later, Oppenheimer's head was found off some back roads 17 miles north of Gizon Park. It's a chilling end to a disturbing online saga and really drives home the fact that you really don't know who it is you're meeting with on Craigslist, dating apps, OfferUp, what have you, until you actually come face to face.
That's so sad.
What began as a simple request for just $50 had led to the loss of 3 lives following
This
a
what
days-long
FIFA Rangers
nightmare
be doing, to be
orchestrated
honest?
by a depraved
No, it
man.
isn't. What the fuck?
The torture footage is, as of 2022, considered indefinite lost media that may never see the light of day. However, considering what exactly it entails,
Broke
I
another
don't think
controller
we'd
today
really
though.
want it to.
Light shit. Not really broke. Still operable, so it's, feel me? Fuck. This should be fucking my head up. In living color.
Coast is the
Take 4.
one. Coast Federal.
Win Armstrong for Coast Federal.
WXLT TV, Channel 40, Sarasota, Bradenton.
We're with you on ABC with you.
The year is 1972, and a reporter named Christine Chubbuck eagerly lands a job at WXLT Channel 40 in Sarasota, Florida. Initially hired as a reporter, she was reassigned to a spot named Suncoast Digest, a local affairs segment that ran at 9 a.m. every Saturday. During her time there, she'd become attracted to a fellow reporter named George Ryan and would seek his attention by baking him cakes and expressing a desire
What
to
the
hang out.
fuck?
When she realized that he was already romantically involved with another coworker, however, it was detrimental to her self-image as Christine historically had difficulty finding love. According to her family, she'd go on dates with various men throughout the years, however had trouble connecting socially with them.
Jesus Christ.
On top of this, by 1973, Chubbuck underwent surgery to have one of her removed, and as a result, her doctors began to pressure her, claiming that if she wasn't able to conceive within 2 to 3 years thereafter, she may never be able to.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Super spy Fred Flintstone is off on the trail of the mysterious Green Goose, a master of
Tonight we begin with the death of a man armed with scissors. He was shot by police 24 times.
Do something. Get him to do something about the problem. Meantime, they say they're going to back the leafleting up with a meeting this Friday with city and state officials.
Good evening. More than 100 people were reported dead in a plane crash near New York's Kennedy Airport this afternoon. The plane was an Eastern Airlines 727.
This nigga Keeks to just resuffer 3.
As 1974 approached, Chubbuck witnessed a shift in news methodology.
Pinhead of hell.
Christine always had a desire to pursue what she believed to be high-impact stories about issues affecting the community. However, WXLT executives were leaning more towards stories that were juicier, per se, utilizing fear and sensationalism to drive viewership, in turn generating revenue.
Y'all junkies, bro.
The news she was tasked with reporting began to shift further and further towards spectacle and shock, and she frequently rallied against this to no avail. Resultingly, she became stuck in a mindset in a world that she was growing to hate. Her professional life, her personal life,
Cali, y'all.
Everything around her.
When I started on no fucking Stizzy. Stizzy's run out too quick. No shits.
Good evening, I am Steve Newman, and this is Channel 40 Weather Watch. It's going to be even cooler tonight than tomorrow night than tonight. The reason for this, with the passage of the cold front today, when we picked up some showers, skies have cleared very nicely. And as a result,
on the 15th of July, 1974, Christine enthusiastically entered the station.
Yo, everybody had this haircut
Suncoast
back then,
Digest traditionally,
with the side chops and
she
shit.
claimed that there was a newscast she had to read to open it, something that hadn't been done hitherto. She takes her seat at the news desk, and for the first 8 minutes, opens her segment about 3 national news stories and a shooting that took place the day prior. Following this, a film reel of the shooting was supposed to play, but had jammed, leaving a few moments of dead air. In response, Christine apologized for the error before taking out a script she had handwritten and reading to the viewers the following.
The following audio is believed to be authentic and was discovered on April 9th, 2021. It depicts Christine's final moments. If you would like to skip this section and jump to 33, the death audio will not be played. Holy shit. I am not finna be bald like my daddy. Stop saying that. You weird, bro.
Statistics. This weekend, being typical of the recent rash of violence, saw one man stabbed, another assaulted, and a third shot and wounded. Sarasota police report the finding of an 18-year-old, a man by the name of David Wynn, in the parking lot of a friendly tavern on 27th Street. Wynn had an apparent stab wound in the chest, which, according to witnesses, was inflicted by James Whitworth during a fight. Police charged Whitworth with aggravated assault. Wynn is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. The second attempted armed robbery in a week has involved law enforcement officers from both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Last week, Phoenix gunmen held up the highway bar and after a shootout and high-speed automobile chase, held a family hostage and finally were nabbed by Sarasota Sheriff's deputies. Early Sunday morning, the Beef and Bottle restaurant north of Sarasota Bradenton Airport on US 41 was the site of an attempted armed robbery and shooting. TV 40 newsman Bob Peterson was on the scene shortly after it began, and he filed this report. Sorry, for those of you who saw Late Night Weekend News Watch last night, we did have a film report and a commentary by Bob Peterson. Unfortunately, we had technical difficulties and cannot bring it to you now. However, News Watch tonight at 5:30, and we'll have that story for you then. As of this morning, Grace Foster, who was shot in that incident, is in satisfactory condition at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. In keeping with the WXLT practice of presenting the most immediate and complete reports of local blood and guts news, TV 40 presents what is believed to be a television first. In living color, exclusive coverage of an attempted suicide.
At this moment, Christine drew a Smith & Wesson revolver that she had hidden in her bag, placed it behind her right ear, and fired, immediately falling forward onto her desk. In a frantic response, the tech directors quickly faded the broadcast to black and scrambled to play a movie thereafter. Calls began to flood in, with viewers questioning the authenticity of what they just witnessed, with some believing that this was just a morbid joke or a prank. However, it was far from it.
Dude.
She was rushed to Sarasota Hospital, and back at the station, the news director, Mike Simmons, had discovered 2 pages of a script left behind by her. The first page contained what we heard prior, however the second was a follow-up intended to be read by a third party.
Agent calling?
Today,
calling
Christine Chubbuck, during a live broadcast, she was rushed to Sarasota Memorial Hospital, where she remains in critical condition. Surprisingly, Christine's prediction turned out to be correct. Not only because she was at that very hospital, but because she remained in critical condition for 14 hours until her eventual death. Christine's body was cremated and spread in the Gulf of Mexico, marking the end of a life full of despair. To those around her and to her loved ones, however, an agonizing void was left that would forever go unfilled.
Not gonna lie, bro. Stuff on TV is kind of crazy, bro. Nobody don't want to see that shit.
Existed and was kept by Bob Nelson, the station's owner. After his death, his wife Molly would inherit it before handing it over to a law firm for good. As of now, this is where it lies, And for the foreseeable
1974,
future,
bro, they was probably like, what the fuck?
may never
Only
see the
white
light of
folks
day.
had TVs back then, like at that time, right? Like it wasn't really black folks having TVs and shit. So they was probably like, gee willikers. Holy shit, on God. On God. TV white folks yell, gee willikers, mom. Yo, what the fuck? That shit is crazy. R.I.P. though.
We will return after these messages.
ABC, damn. 20 Hardaway, thank you for the sub.
To
Black
preface
niggas
this
was on
last
the
entry,
radio,
I'd like to state from the outset that the following could be absolutely nothing.
Holy
The answer could be
mackerel.
completely mundane. However, the footage in this section has personally stood out to me because of how
shit
bizarrely out
was
of place
smart,
it
bro.
is and how little info there is about it. I was gonna put it in the next disturbing things. However, I think it fits better here. Let us begin.
Okay, who got the best fast food breakfast? Wendy's, right? Wendy's. Everybody just shut the
It's
fuck
the
up. Say
1980s.
Wendy's. McDonald's?
Beetlejuice makes its debut. Journey, Survivor, Guns N' Roses, and our favorite Rick Astley are on the airwaves. And over on a stand-up comedy show named An Evening at the Improv, a child actor turned musician named Corey Feldman is world premiering his latest track, Something in Your Eyes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen,
McDonald's
I'm going to
is
start the show
super
off tonight a bit
inconsistent, bro.
differently than usual.
Oh God, they
What I'm
ain't
going to
even
do
give-
is
they
I'm going
ain't
to
have
world
my
premiere my
milkshake.
song that I just finished writing and producing with Michael Damian from my new movie Dream a Little Dream with Jason Robards. It's called Something in Your
Oh,
Eyes. I'm going
shit.
to do it right
Hold
now.
on. Agent was calling me. I didn't have my shit on. All right. Rich goals. Jesus. Let me turn this shit off. Hold on, chat. I think I gotta take a shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
As we can see, he had a mixed reaction from the
What are you
audience.
saying?
Clearly lip syncing and taking inspiration from Michael Jackson, he employs dance moves in a musical style that attempts to
Yo, who
emulate
is
them.
this nigga?
Upon looking through comments about him on YouTube, it's clear that history hasn't exactly been kind to Feldman. But that's beside the point. The reason I bring this video up in the first place is because, towards the song's end, Feldman's producer makes an incredibly strange cutaway to something that is very out of place for a video like this.
Yo,
Have a look.
What the fuck? Fake, thank you for the sub.
You shouldn't have let it go. You should have held on. Stop running away.
What the fuck?
What is this? And why is it here?
Sex, Money, Drugs Friday?
Nowhere in this song does
24
Feldman
Hour
make
Friday.
any sort of mention about a woman being bound to
I
a
just
pool
lied.
table.
What the fuck?
And after performing a cursory scan of his other music videos, cutaways like this never
Yo,
happen
I just
again.
lied.
This
Yo.
seems eerily out of place, and discussion
Yo,
about
what
this
Friday
is
is it?
painstakingly few and far between. The only mentions I could find about it were from Reddit and a few YouTube comments. However, none of them garnered much attention, and their sources are pretty much non-existent. With that being said, let's circle back to the footage so we can
Bro, was
break
that
it
a
down
real
ourselves.
dead? Why were they showing real dead bodies on TV?
As we can see,
What
the
were they
video
trying to
of this woman
accomplish?
was patched in post-production. Unlike the other cutaways that happened prior, this one has a different border. It's in black and white, and seems to be slightly lower quality than his music video.
But that bitch was
In the
not.
footage, we have a woman with brown or black hair tied up on each corner of the pool table. Is in what appears to be a small room with a swinging light above her, and seems
it's
to be
a
moving because of
sacrifice.
discomfort. To me, this footage could be one of three things. Either it's a scene from an obscure movie, a cut of a film,
Fuck no!
or it could be from a legitimate film. Personally, I believe it's one of the first two, given how obvious this cutaway is on something that's been seen by hundreds, if not thousands of people. If this were truly as sinister as it's
how
been
you know
rumored,
that? Bruh. These people, bro, these companies, bro, listen, chat. You get money, you gotta learn about the people with the big money, the billionaires and shit, all right? You gotta really take everything that you see or hear, per se. I wouldn't say like, I take everything I hear lightly, like not lightly. I don't take everything. Damn. You know how when some niggas would be like, oh yeah, that Illuminati shit isn't real, all that island shit, they didn't go there, blah, blah, blah. It's like they're naive to shit. They don't want to believe it because those are the people they've been looking up to for years, blah, blah, blah. Here he go again, you're fried. Listen, shut the fuck up, all right? But it's like, when that shit come out and it's real, they still don't even fucking, but it don't even shake anyone. So that's why shit will never stop. Like, they will never stop doing shit like that because when it comes out, people still don't believe it.
it would be a pretty stupid move to put it there.
I'm 50-50 on it.
Regardless, this cutaway
And
is
I'm
one
high
of
as
the
shit.
weirdest edits I have ever seen, and I'm still struggling to drum up a reason as to why it's there in the first place. I'm curious if you know anything about this, if you've seen it before, if you've heard about it, anything. This is a weird little mystery.
That's why they was able to fake the moon landing on y'all big dumbass.
Who is the woman on the table?
What my boy Kyrie said, the world flat, nigga. It's flat.